Okay, thank you for joining us and welcome to Better Together Live, where we create helpful community relations when it matters most. I am Jamile Bowman, your host and the Community Relations Coordinator here at TherapyWorks. Today, I'm happy to be joined by Jessica Elix from Empower Professional Organizing. Welcome, Jessica. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamile. I'm so happy to be here.
Thanks. So just to give a little bit of background, we started Better Together Live to highlight local business resources like yourself to offer expanded access to support for our local community. Jessica, again, thank you so much for being here. And can you start telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So, I'm local in San Jose. I've been here about 15 years, and my husband and I are raising our three busy and adorable kids here. My husband's a teacher. He works with the special needs population in Eastside San Jose. And I have been in business for myself for just shy of 10 years. So next year, 2021, is my 10-year anniversary.
That will be the year for everybody.
It's a good year. It's a good year. I feel it already. So my business in 2011 was started as a professional organizer and productivity consultant, and it's called Empower Professional Organizing.
Great. And what is Empower Professional Organizing, and who does Empower work with?
Sure. So Empower Professional Organizing I help come up with easy to follow processes for a household to work more efficiently. And so for some individuals, that is clearing out their garage so it's easier to park their bikes or even get their car in the garage. And for some, it's coming up with a homeschool or work-life balance type schedule. So there's a little bit more unity in the household. And so,
sorry to interrupt, but how do you, I don't know if I'm using the correct word, convince people to either get rid of things or to put things away? You know, most of us, we carry things that we don't even use for years.
Yeah,
and we
great
attach
question.
to our things. How do you do that?
So going into a relationship, one of the first questions I ask is if the client is ready. And so I work with households and businesses who are ready to make a change in their life, not somebody who's been referred to me by a spouse or family members who think that change is necessary at this point in time. So I just ask a lot of questions to kind of get down to what's the purpose of the item. And for a lot of individuals, there's a story or a childhood memory or something associated with the need or the why to have that item in their life. One of the challenges and also exciting things about what I do is that for households with multiple personalities, like just different people in it, not multiple personalities, but, a husband and wife, a kid, or, a wife and wife, or a husband and husband. We're all different. It's coming up with systems and rules that work for everybody in the household, for everybody to be on the same page. So things get put back in a way that makes sense to everybody.
Wow. That's lovely.
Thank you.
At this time that we are in COVID and everybody's at home, how does your services support families with homeschooling and work from home regulations right now?
Yeah. So I've been, as a business owner, having to be pretty flexible because a lot of my services are in person.
Correct.
But with kind of stay-at-home changes and everything, I've had some virtual sessions with clients and some in-person sessions, just depending on what the county and state regulations have. And right now, a focus for a lot of individuals has been to purge and to reuse spaces in their home for, working at home or for getting homeschool going. And so it's reimagining a person's space in a way that they might not have imagined it before. And because finances for a number of individuals have changed this year too, it's repurposing different areas, different furnitures, in their home to make use of these other spaces and open up the ability to have a successful distance learning or homeschool or work at home environment.
Right. Let go of the dining room that you never use and use it as an office like I am doing right now.
Right. Like transform your space
Yeah.
because that's needed, you know, and sometimes when we're have a little bit more tunnel vision or just, you know, just getting through the day in survival mode, it's helpful to have somebody else come in and say, hey, why don't you just try to move the desk around a little bit? Or, you know, the light, you know, shift your desk so the light hits your face a little bit
A
better.
little better. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. And, you know, it's hard because, you know, I mean, a lot of people don't have bigger homes to accommodate 3 or 4 kids. So everybody can be at school, everybody can be at work. So I can imagine your work, it's very creative. And
it does get creative. And
yeah.
sometimes that creativity involves, you know, stacking up cereal boxes in order to put a barrier between 2 kids who are sitting at a table arguing while they're supposed to be on their Zoom classes, right? So it's coming up with things that are right at your fingertips to use to cause to create a household that is a little more coexisting when everybody's at home.
Yep, we are.
Yeah.
And we're still gonna be for a couple more months, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, we can do it. We've done it all this time. We can do it a couple more months. I think we're
I
good.
agree. I
Right?
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta count our blessings.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica, have you worked with families with special needs children? Can you
I
talk about
have.
this?
Sure. I mentioned earlier in the call, my husband
Mm-hmm.
is, he's an adapted PE
Yeah, I
teacher
didn't
in
know. That's
Eastside San
great.
Jose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so his background is he's actually a child of 2 parents who have a disability. So
I see.
our work in the community does stem around households who have kids and adults with disabilities. And so I work, you know, I have experience working with kids who have processing disorders,
Oh, nice.
ADD, ADHD, a multitude, anxiety, depression. And so actually a lot of my clientele, whether they are adolescents or, you know, younger children
Mm-hmm.
or adults, have and work with outside help. So have a dual diagnosis, and so are creating space in their life for some of those other things to be worked on as well.
And when you're working with families like that, and with, you know, adolescents like with the special needs, do you find it's a little bit harder to accommodate things and convince them to make some changes?
It really depends on the personality of the person that I'm dealing with or that I get the privilege to work with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, slow and steady is one
Mm-hmm.
of my mindsets.
I love
And
that. Yeah.
yeah, going in to create a Pinterest perfect environment doesn't necessarily work for a lot of households or for a lot of people. And so it's figuring out what's going to be easy and less stressful for that individual to maintain based on what they're able to do,
Yeah.
based on their ability level, and making slow changes, because I know for me as an individual, if life throws a huge curveball my way, you know, I may have skills to hit it at this point in my life, and I may not. And so it's kind of reading the situation. You never know.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So I love that. Thank you so much for saying that. What is the one thing that might surprise us about you and your business? I'm so excited to hear that.
Okay, so something about me and my business. I'm trying to think of something that you might not know about me. So I played collegiate soccer. I was a goalkeeper for a Division I school.
Look at you. Nice.
Yeah, I know. And so from my athletic background, I graduated in kinesiology, which is the study
nice.
of the brain, the body, and the movement. And I like to use some of those strategies in my business. So I do pull from my degree on a regular basis. And that paired with, you know, my nearly 10 years of business, and I'm working on a coaching background, so life coaching as well, to really be able to add another level of care.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is a nice surprise. Love it.
Yeah.
So Jessica, do you have any favorite resources, community resources out there that you want to share?
Well, you guys are one that I typically refer
thank you.
to on a regular basis. And then the city of San Jose offers a very in-depth, programs for therapeutic services. So for people with varying levels of needs. And from my point of view, I think it's an underutilized community program, and it's city-based, and they just offer a lot from adapted sports and art and just different various classes.
Various classes. Okay, good. Is there anything else you would like to share with us about your business? I know you work also with companies.
I do.
We are very lucky that we're working together. So can you talk a little bit about that? What do you do for all of us?
Sure. So as far as companies go, I do work with a number of them, coming up with procedures to make their office space and their online world run a little bit more efficiently. And so it's, restocking a storeroom for in-person work, so a veterinary office, so to make their processes of grabbing things more efficient, to the online portals that companies need to use to serve their communities. So coming up with policies and procedures, a standard operating procedure booklet, oftentimes coming up and figuring out a paper filing system and culling past documentation that might not be needed at the forefront of somebody's fingertips.
And you're great. I have to say, you're really easy to work with, and you're so good. So thank you for that. Yes.
Well, thank you. That makes me feel happy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. For people like me, I'm a mom too. Can you give me a tip? Can you give us a tip? Like, we get up every morning, we try to get the house organized, our lives a little organized. We have so much in here. One tip you can give to somebody, what would that be?
Stop listening to the talk that's going on up here. I find is probably my most helpful tip for this Monday morning as we go into the as we go into the week is that stop listening up here and just keep your feet on the ground, because that's where you are right here, right now.
Thank you. I love that, and I will listen to that, because when you try to get organized, it does add a level of stress in your life, and it's not fun. So I will listen to that one.
Thank you. Yeah, the stuff has taken a while to build up, so it does take a little bit of time to lessen that in an efficient and effective way.
What do you do to the stress? I know you're very sporty, but
what do I do personally?
Yeah, personally.
So I like to get out and walk. And sometimes it's with my family, and then sometimes it's just alone time, getting out and walking. Right now, that's been one of my best resources for mental health.
That's great. I do the same thing. I love it. That's good. This is great, Jessica. This is a lot of information, and I love it. And is there anything else you want to add? Please go ahead. We have a few more minutes. It's up to you. We've definitely covered
a lot
right
now. So I think just one of the biggest things is being kind to yourself, and knowing that, especially in a household where there are a number of individuals, there's stuff. Everybody has their stuff, and attachment to stuff is different. So, I'm a mom of 3. And so I know that my oldest child is more attached to things that he has spent time working on. My middle child is like, I don't want it, like, get rid of it. And then my youngest haven't figured that out quite yet. She's a little possessive of her things at this point, because she's young. But just that everybody has a different way of viewing things, and being open to kind of hearing what those are oftentimes helps make the process of letting go, or coming up with systems to keep those.
That's correct. Well, thank you so much. Would you please share your contact information with us?
Sure. Again, my name is Jessica Elix. My business is Empower Professional Organizing, and you can find me on my website, www.empowerpo.com, EMPOWERPO.com.
Thank you, Jessica, so much for being here with us today. And for us, Our philosophy at Therapy Works is very simple. We are better together. Everything we do is to support our community. And if you want to learn more about us, please go to mytherapyworks.com. Jessica, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to continue working with you.
Likewise. Bye. Have a great day.
Okay, you too.